Welcome back to day 2 of the Northwest Can-Am Maverick Trail meet held in Sumpter, Oregon. This is the 5th annual Northwest Maverick Trail meet. Now, day 2 is kind of a long day. It's right close to 75 miles. We are heading over to a little town called Unity for lunch. Now, today is an out and back. There's a little bit different route for part of it coming back, but it is essentially an out and back. It's a long day, a lot of open spaces, really cool trails before we get there though. There's really great riding today. As usual, we've split up into 4 groups. Again today, we are heading off with group number 2. Ron is our ride leader today. And yeah, we are just gonna dive right into it.
Let's go get in our rig. Good morning, Simba. This next one.
In the day 1 video I mentioned one of the things that we notice of riding up here is just the amount of dust. And then watching the footage from day 1, I realized that on day 1 it wasn't bad. A little bit, but not bad. But now, editing and putting part 2 together, yeah, this is what I remember. It was so much dust and this light, powdery, almost baby powder type of dust that you kicked up and almost ate your own dust in many cases. But yeah, it spread the group out quite a bit just to stay out of each other's dust. get a lot of comments in videos like this is, how do we find out about events like this? How do we join you? I talked about it pretty extensively in the first part of this series, but the short version is we are all part of a Can-Am Maverick Trail Facebook group. Lots of us, 3,000, I think there's nearly 4,000 members now. It's a decent sized group, and it is Maverick Trail only. I mean, we don't allow sports, the sports owners can be in the group, but they have to keep the discussion based on Maverick Trails. So it's a pretty specialized, pretty specific group of people, and it's a good group of people. But anyway, we all know each other through that group. All of these events are organized and posted, the details posted in the event section of that group. So that's the only place you will find information about these little meets like this. This is the 5th annual Northwest Maverick Trail meet. Also, probably a little bit confusing here, this why you see people stopped on the side of the road, why you see us. We call this the drop method. It's a method that I learned a few years ago when we were down at the San Rafael Swell. You know, if you have a fairly large group of people and you need to cover a lot of ground, this drop method works really well. You have a tail gunner, you have a ride leader. Those two positions are always in place. They never move. And the number 2 machine behind the ride leader will stop at an intersection. The ride leader will stop and point to tell that driver where to park and where to direct traffic. So that number 2 person will stop and direct everyone else in the group the direction that they need to go. And when the tail gunner comes up to that person that stopped, that person pulls in front of the tail gunner and ends up in the back of the line. And then now we have a new machine behind the ride leader. And when the ride leader points them, they stop, direct traffic, and so on and so on. So you're constantly rotating positions inside of the lineup. But that way the group doesn't really have to stop. Everybody can kind of keep moving. And it works really well, especially places like this. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of trails, a lot of roads, a lot of wrong directions that you can go up here. It was kind of a navigation nightmare for our ride leaders, but they really did a great job. But this helps keep everything moving. It works really well. So I mean, if you see why their machine stopped and why we stop once in a while, machines pass us, that's why. But yeah, we're rolling into Unity. This was kind of a neat little story. Here in Unity, they have a little market. It's called the Burnt River Market. And it's just like any other little market, gas station out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You know, we've all seen them. They have gas and, you know, a little bit of groceries. It's a good little stop. They also have a little bit of a restaurant. And the old buzzard spoke to him about kind of the logistics of all of us stopping in there for lunch, and possible, but not. I mean, it'd be tough with 4 groups of 10, 30 minutes apart. And to be honest, once things start moving, that 30 minutes apart can vary. It can become 45 minutes. It can become 15 minutes. So just the logistics of feeding everybody in these shifts, it was a difficult thing to ask. And they came up with an idea that they would do like a taco bar, like an all-you-could-eat taco bar. And they have this grassy area outside with some picnic tables. They had all of the fixings to make tacos. I mean, I think it was $10 a person, and then another $2 or something for a drink. I don't really remember, but it was really reasonable. And they, bless their hearts, they fed us all. It was really nice of them to do that. It really was a big help for us, and it was just logistically they kind of took on the burden, and they solved it with this all-you-could-eat taco bar. It was fun. It was really awesome. I didn't get a lot of pictures, and I was a little distracted during the lunch part. Something shiny was there and kind of took my attention a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that's the story. So from here on, we just turn around and we head back, about halfway back through the same stuff that we've already been through, and then we take a different turn, and the second half of the ride back is a little bit different. So yeah, keep going. Today was a lot of roads, but we were fortunate to have a lot of really cool trails too. A lot of dust, as I mentioned before, with some really cool trails on the way back. The problem was, after such a long day of riding the trails, we were pretty wore out by this point, but still lots to see. Really beautiful day. And that does it for day 2. Another great ride in the books, and another fun night of hanging around with good friends around camp, and plenty more to come. See you guys in part 3. See you on the trail.